Even after week and a half of sitting, starts first time. Hi guys, this is me riding my 125 after 2 weeks of riding a 650 Versys. The gearbox on this is just so smooth for a Honda, for a 125. It's just silky smooth. Oh, compared to my Versys, the Versys is a little bit stiff and a bit clunky, whereas with this, it's just the clutch is so light and it's just kind of a pleasure compared to my Versys. I hate to say it, but my 125 gearbox is actually nicer than my Versys. The steering is so light on this bike, it's ridiculous compared to the Versys. Seat position, pretty much the same. If you go and look at, there's a nice tool called cycle-ergo.com, that lets you put a kind of stick figure of yourself onto different bikes, because it has all their seat height and dimensions and stuff. And comparing this with the Versys, it's pretty much identical. I don't know, I hate to say it, but I kind of prefer my 125 seat, gearbox and steering to my Versys. It's just because they're so much softer. And why are you doing a U-turn? You do have to rev this thing to get it going though. God. So yeah, it's a 2008 Honda Varadero 125. The back brake on this, and the fact that it's only an inch, but it makes a huge difference when you put your foot down actually, even my height. Oh God. You need quite a lot of throttle to get it going. Mirrors on this are actually shocking. I prefer my Versys mirrors. I just fitted some new ones this morning. They cost me £24.50. Anyway, the gearbox on this bike is so silky smooth. If you watch Roadcraft's video on how to preload and make your shift smoother, on this bike I've pretty much mastered it, so even the clunkiness between 1 and 2 doesn't really happen. This bike is kind of pretty well balanced considering I'm such a fat bastard. Because I mean, at that light then, the foot wasn't down, I was just sat there, foot on the back brake, waiting. That's how comfortable I got with this bike. Yeah, signal, mate. Damn, this bike's good. I mean, for a 125, it's very kind of torquey. Damn, I'll miss this bike. Oop. The clutch on it is so smooth that I end up whacking it against the bar because I'm so used to my Versys clutch. Brakes are pretty good for a 125. I've taken the L plates off this just because I can, and even with them on, without L plates, even on a 125, people back off because it's a pretty big 125, and that must kind of confuse people because it sounds like a 125, it's speed like a 125, but it's the size of my Versys basically. God, that gearbox. Trying to get some of the rust off the brakes. I haven't been able to ride it for it must be 2 weeks now. 2 weeks tomorrow. But as you saw, it started up first time. No issues. Kind of that nice Jap bike reliability. If it was a Chinese bike, as Delboy say, probably would have rusted away and blown up when I tried to start it after 2 weeks and not being used. This bike is actually really, really comfortable. Oh, if I had room for 2 bikes, I kind of do at the moment, but the problem is my cage has to go in front of them. It takes a lot of backwards and forwards to get them so close to the garage door that I can get the cage on. And yeah, well, I think you can guess. I accidentally knocked the Versys. That's why I kind of need a new wing mirror. Kind of need a new wing mirror because, wow, yeah, it knocked it. I mean, they were pretty bad anyway. I think with the new ones I've actually got more view of. Oh, that's where you notice the 125 lacking, going up a hill. Wind protection's quite good. Taller screen helps, especially in winter, but I've still got the original screen. I'll probably sell it with the original screen as well. Maybe I'm just biased because this is my first bike, but I really love this bike. Took it ages to research and find one. They're quite rare and hard to find at decent prices, and I probably played over the odds for it. No, nothing. That's the thing with a 125, which is why I'm saying I want the engine on my Versys, is you twist the throttle and kind of nothing happens. Oh, but it's so comfy. It's kind of a shame to lose it. I know a lot of people call their bikes women names and refer to it as her, but yeah, I'm trying to avoid doing that with this bike because scooter, I'll end up, you know, getting more attached to it. I could probably keep it, but I think I need the money just to, rather than have 2 bikes, one that I can just use for commuting. I'd rather just get one bike, down to one bike. Oh, the back brake on this is brilliant. That's probably because I paid so much bloody money to get fixed. Because the original people that provided it, Fowlers, or Fowl-Ups as then recently learnt they're known, provided it with a warp disc. Slight warp. I mean, enough to be a squeak at the start when I started riding it. The thing is, they didn't service the caliper. So the back brake would slightly stick on, and you guessed it. The disc became so heavily warped, I had to get it replaced and the caliper serviced. But yeah, I've spent quite a lot of bloody money on this bike. Had all the rear disc stuff, fitted the heated grips, changed out the screen, bought a back box and luggage. It's pretty much a damn good commuter bike actually. Because riding into Bristol, you can fit pretty much your bag, a coat and shoes, and I got pretty big feet, in the back box, the Givey back box, and yeah, plenty of parking in Bristol. It's free for bikes, and well, yeah, beats taking the bus when it's not snowing. But yeah, I kind of got the Versys because I was getting a bit fed up of getting abused by motorists because you have owl plates on, or labouring a bit. That's the thing, a bigger bike seems more forgiving on gears. But then again, do I regret getting a 125 for 6 months? No. I think it's made me a better biker. I know how to use the gears, more confident on the road. Well, I did have a cage, but bike confidence I think is a bit different to car confidence. You know, because you have to learn things like filtering and dealing with retard drivers, smidsies. My fingers are really cold now. Do the finger exercise. Better turn the heated grips on. That's why I say the heated grips on this are good, but they only warm the inside of your hands. Whereas the handguards kind of protect the wind off your hands, so they're a little bit more effective. But if I was going to go for riding my Versys last year in winter, I would probably fit both. Overall, kind of sad to see my 125 go. One last thing, shout out to HaveBikeWillVlog for the first comment on my first vlog video, telling me my voice wasn't that bad. Thank you, sir. I've been watching your videos for quite a while, actually. It's probably stalkerish to say, but I've been watching pretty much every vlogger that I can find for about 6 months. Finally, goodbye again. No more random additions to this video. That's it.